One good afternoon here in the UK, good morning in the US, potentially, or whatever time it is somewhere else. Um, so with that, with Bible reading from this book, the RSV, Standard Edition. So without further ado, because I want to take advantage of the gap in the weather and hopefully get out to continue practicing. So pray for me, and that was the hot thing. Because with this weather, you will literally know what's going to happen. Anyway, we will start with Genesis 16, the birth of Ishmael. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, bore him so no children. She had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said to Abram, behold now, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Go in to my maid. It may be that I shall obtain children her. And Abram listened in the voice of Sarai. So after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar the Egyptian, a maid, to Abram, her husband, was a wife. And he went in to Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, she looked with contempt on her mistress. And Sarai said to Abram, may the wrong done to me be on you. I gave my maid your embrace. She saw that she had conceived. She looked on me with contempt. May the Lord judge between you and me. But Abram said to Sarai, your maid is in your power. Do to her as you please. Then Sarai dealt harshly with her, and she fled from her. The angel of the Lord found her by a spring of water in the wilderness, going on the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, maid of Sarai, when have you come? Where have you come from? And where are you going? She said, I am fleeing from my mistress Sarai. The angel of the Lord said, return to your mistress and submit to her. The angel of the Lord also said to her, I will so greatly multiply your descendants that they cannot be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said to her, behold, you are with child, and shall bear a son. You shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord has given heed to your affliction. He shall be a wild donkey of a man, his hand against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he should dwell over against all his kinsmen. So he called the name of the Lord who spoke to her. You are a God of seeing. He said, have I really seen God and remained alive after seeing him? Therefore the well was called Beer-Harai, and lies between Kashed and Bered. And Hagar bore Abram a son, and Abram called the name of his son, whom Hagar bore, Ishmael. Abram was 86-year-old when Hagar bore Ishmael to Abram. When Abram was 99 years old, the Lord appeared to Abram and said to him, I am God Almighty. Walk before me and be blameless. And I will make my covenant between me and you, and will multiply you exceedingly. Then Abram fell on his face, and God said, behold, my covenant is you, and you shall be the father of a multitude of nations. No longer shall your name be Abram, but your name shall be Abraham. I have made you the father of a multitude of nations. I will make exceedingly fruitful, and I will make nations of you, and shall come forth from you. And I will establish my covenant between me and you and your descendants after you throughout their generations, for an everlasting covenant to be God to you, to your descendants after you. And I will give to you and to your descendants after you the land of your sojourning, all the land of Canaan, everlasting possession, and I will be the Lord, be their God. And God said to Abraham, as for you, you shall keep my covenant, you and your descendants throughout their generations. This is my covenant, which you keep between me and you, and your descendants after you. Every male among you shall be circumcised. You shall be circumcised in the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and you. He that is apologies, he that is 8 days old among you, 8 days old among you shall be circumcised every male throughout your generations, whether born in your house or bought with your money from any foreigner who is not of your offspring. Both he that is born in your house and he that is brought with your money shall be circumcised. So shall my covenant be in your flesh, everlasting and everlasting covenant. Any uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin shall be cut off from his people. He has broken my covenant. And God said to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall come. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed, and said to himself, shall I be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live in your sight. God said, no, but Sarah, your wife, shall bear you a son. You shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. As for Ishmael, I have heard you. Behold, I will bless him. I will make him fruitful and multiply him exceedingly. He shall be the father of 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But I will establish a covenant with Isaac, whom Sarah shall be fair to at the start, at this season next year. When he had finished talking with him, he looked up from Abraham. Then Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all the slaves born in his house were bought with his money. Every male and man of Abraham's household, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins that very day God had said to him. Abraham was 99 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin, and Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. That very day, Abraham and his son Ishmael were circumcised, and all the men of his house, those born in the house, and bought with money from a foreigner, were circumcised with him. There's a lot of interesting content there. You can see you have the sin of Abraham with his wife's consent going away with another. And then you have Ishmael born as a consequence of that, and Sarai abusing her servant, even though she gave permission. But God is also protecting her and finds her in that. Doesn't He blesses her son, and that is very interesting, I think. And Sarah, I would say, but also interesting phrases in Canaan and everlasting possession, which settles Israel debate, and even though Jewish people thought that land obtained by their sin, it still belongs to them, good decreed to them by God. I would say that is thoughts on that passage. You now go on to Job 5 and 6. I think it's very, very interesting that Job, as a patriarch, usually put in the Bible literature. So not a nice parable which tells that he actually put in this Bible reading part of the patriarch, which means the founding father as far as they're concerned. It's interesting, I think. So Job 5:6. Cool now is the last time we read this, we were in the middle of Eliphaz's testimony as Job's situation has got worse and worse. Cool now, is there anyone who will answer you? To which of the holy ones will you turn? Surely vexation kills the fool, and jealousy slays the fool. I have seen the fool taking root, but suddenly I saw his dwelling. His sons are far from safety. They are caught in the gate, and there is no one to deliver them. His fists are hungry eat, and he takes it even out of thorns, and the thirsty pant after his well. For affliction do not come from the dust, nor does trouble spout from the ground. But man is born to trouble, as the sparks fly upward. I would seek God, and to God would I commit my cause, who does great things and unsearchable, marvellous things without number. He gives rain upon the earth, much today if you're in the UK. This is what I said earlier about my bike, but that line is just making me smile because of how pertinent it is. And send waters upon the field, sets on high those who are lowly, and those who mourn are lifted to safety. He frustrates the devices of the crafty, so their hands achieve no success. He takes the wise in their own craftiness, and the schemes of the wily are brought to a quick end. They make meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope at noonday as in the light. But he saves the fatherless from their mouth, the needy from the hand of the mighty. So the poor have hope, and injustice shuts their mouth. Behold, happy is the man whom God approves. Therefore despise not the chastening of the Almighty. For he wounds, but he binds up. He strikes, but his hand heals. He will deliver you from six troubles in seven. In seven there shall no evil issue. In famine he will redeem you from death, and in war from the power of the sword. You shall be hidden from the scourge of the tongue, and shall not fear destruction when it comes. At destruction and famine you shall laugh, and shall not fear the beasts of the earth. For you shall be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with you. You shall know your tent is safe, and you shall inspect your fold and miss nothing. You shall know also that your descendants shall be many, and offspring of the grass of the earth. You shall come to your grave in ripe old age, as a shock of grain comes up to the threshing floor in its season. Behold, this we have searched out, it is good. Hear and know it for your good. Job replies to Eliphaz. Then Job answered, Oh, that my vexation were weighed, and all my calamity laid in the balances, when I would be heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words have been rash, for the arrows of the Almighty are in me. My spirit drinks poison. The terrors of God are arrayed against me. Does the wild donkey bray when he has grass, or the ox lower over fodder? Can that which is tasteless be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the slime of pulse? My appetite refuses to touch them. They are as food that is loathsome. Oh, that I might have my request, and that God would grant my desire. That it would please God to crush me. Then he would let loose his hand and cut me off. This would be my consolation. I wouldn't even exult in pain and sparing. I have not denied the word of the Holy One. What is my strength that I should wait? And what is my end that I should be patient? Is strength the strength of stone, or is my flesh bronze? In truth, I have no help in me, and any resource is driven from me. He who withholds kindness from a friend forsakes the fear of the Almighty. My brethren are treacherous as a torrent bread, as freshets that pass away, which are dark with ice, so hides itself. In time of heat they disappear, when it is hot they vanish from their place. The caravans turn aside their course. They go up into the waste and perish. The caravans of Tema look, the travellers of Sheba hope. They are disappointed because they were confident. They come there and confounded me. Such you have now become to me. You see my calamity and are afraid. Have I said, make me a gift, or from your wealth bribe for me, or deliver me from the adversary's hand? or ransom me from the hand of oppressors. Teach me, and I will be silent. Make me understand how I have erred, how forceful or honest words. But what does reproof from you reprove? Do you think that you can prove words when the speech of a despairing man is wind? You would even cast lots over the fatherless and bargain over your friend. But now be pleased to look at me, for I would not lie to your face. And I beg, let no wrong be done. Turn down, my vindication is at stake. Is there any wrong on my tongue? How I taste and discern calamity? Really powerful reading, I think. So, we're going to finish Proverbs 1, which is an amazingly long proverb, it has to be said. Taken us 3 sessions to finish Proverbs 1. But here on Proverbs 1, I was starting at, I'm going to recap what I'm starting at. That long. This is one of the problems with leaving it longer because now I'm sort of like struggling to struggle. 20 to 33. There we go. For some reason, I got it in my head that I had to start 22. I do not know why, but it was there. It blame my head. My head can be very much but many times do I go, especially when I've lost something. Anyway, so Proverb 1 is still full of wisdom. We start at verse 20. She cries aloud in the street. In the market, she raises her voice. On the top of the wall, she cries out. At the entrance of the city gate, she speaks. How long, O simple ones, will you love being simple? How long will scoffers delight in their scoffing, and fools hate knowledge? Give heed to my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my thoughts to you. I will make my words known to you, because I have called and you refuse to listen. I have stretched out my hand, and no one has heeded. And you have ignored all my counsel, and would have none of my reproof. I also will ask at your calamity. I will mock when panic strikes you. When panic strikes you like a storm, calamity comes like a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come on you, then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. They will seek me diligently, but will not find me, because they hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, would not have none of my counsel, and despised all my reproofs. Therefore they shall eat the fruit of their way, and be salted with their own vices. For the simple are killed by their turning away, and the complaints of fools destroys them. But he who listens to me shall secure, and will be at ease without dread of the evil. And that's the end of Proverbs 1. That's a beautiful proverb. There's a lot of, again, there's a lot of rich content in that, especially that verse. But yes, so I am going to go and see what the weather's going to do for me, and if I'm going to get some time to ride my bike. But if you do wander by, thank you very much.